right, so the first question that we ask ourselves is, how do we find a good deal? Where are we finding these deals? Who do I need to talk to? What websites do I use? And I'll just tell you a little bit about how I do it. It might be different for other people. But so what I usually do, the first thing that's the most important is your relationship that you have with other investors and other wholesalers. So what I like to do first when I'm looking for a deal, if I need a property, if I have a buyer who's saying, Colton, I need a 3-2 in Phoenix for under this amount, let me know if you have anything. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna visit the websites of some of the local wholesalers that I know. So I'll visit, I'll just go through. I already have some tabs open on some of the websites that I use, but I'll kind of just look through and kind of see what properties they have, how much they're asking for, verify all the information, make sure it looks good. If I find one, so for example, I really like this one, and I think that this would be a possible good deal. I think the price looks right, and I think there's room to make money. I'm gonna be able to do a little bit of research on it. I'm gonna county assessor tax records. I'm gonna search some comps. I'm gonna make sure that there's enough spread there for everybody to be happy in the end. And then if it all looks good, then I'm gonna end up reaching out to that buyer or to that seller, the wholesaler who has it under contract, and ask them if they're open to doing a joint venture deal. It's important when you contact them that you make sure that they are direct to seller. You want to make sure that they have that under contract, otherwise you can get in a lot of trouble. And so I think that I will reach out to these people who have this property. So let's give them a call. Hey Brian, this is Colton Brooks from Brandon Simmons' office. Hey, just reaching out to you. I hope you guys are doing pretty well. Hey, just wanted to get in touch with you about your property on Willetta Street, 2940 East Willetta. I think that we might have some buyers that would be interested in that, so I wanted to reach out to you and see if you guys are open to joint venturing on that one. Let me know, give me a call back when you can. Okay, so after I get in touch with the wholesaler and they give me the thumbs up, they say, yep, that sounds good. On that phone call, I'm gonna be, again, verifying that they're direct to seller. I'm gonna ask some information, just kind of verify the information that they have on the website or wherever I saw the deal. So things like, I want to verify the address, I want to verify the square footage, if they have a after repair value, but I also want to make sure that what they want to net. I want to know what their price is and what's been done to the property, or what needs to be done. So just some simple things like that I want to find out from the seller or from the wholesaler. After I get the thumbs up, after I've gotten all that squared away, I'm gonna work on getting them over a non-exclusive option agreement, and I will pull up what that kind of looks like. So this is what it looks like. This is our 15-day option agreement contract. So it's just really simple. It's a one-page contract where we basically we put on there the seller's LLC. We're gonna put on the asking price and the address. We're gonna get it signed. The reason we do that is so that we can have permission to market their property for them, so there's no legal issues. Both parties agree that we are able to market their property. So that's really important. That's the first thing I'm gonna do before I even market it. I'm gonna make sure I get that written up, sent over to the wholesaler, make sure I get that signed. As soon as I have that signed and we've signed it, I'm gonna put that away in our records. And then I'm gonna do the fun part, which is doing some of the underwriting. So in the underwriting process, when we're looking for a good deal, we wanna make sure that we're finding them at 85% and below of retail value. So what I like to use to put my comps, and you might use MLS or Zillow, Redfin, I use all of those, as well as PropStream. So I'll pull this up and I'll use it to pull up my comp. So I'll put in like the minimum bed bath. I'm gonna search within a quarter-mile radius. I'm gonna look at the sale dates of the surrounding comps and the sell price. I want to make sure that we have a reasonable ARV for our property so that the deal makes sense. I might do this before we even reach out to the wholesaler. I'll make sure that that's pretty solid, but just for the sake of showing you what I use PropStream. But this is what I'll use to pull my ARV, just so I can kind of determine what the retail value could be, and that's important to the buyer. Once I have that done and I have all my information set in place, I like to keep track of all of my deals using Trello. It's like my personal little CRM. So in here I'll have like the properties we're marketing, any leads that we get, what's closing right now. And so for today I've got 4 that I'm marketing. I got 1 lead in so far today. Nothing is in closing at the moment. So I kind of organize it like this. So I'll have the property information here with the address. I got our pictures. I've got our signed option agreement PDF with the wholesaler who has it under contract. I've got a comp report. And then I've got a checklist of the marketing that I'm going to do. And then at the bottom here I have notes of anything about the property. So I'll put over an acre in size lot. It's just a few minutes from the surrounding freeways. It's in good shape, it has new carpet, paint looks pretty good, pretty simple cosmetic flip. And I'll just kind of write down what information I think is pertinent to a buyer when they're going to call me and say, hey, what can you tell me about this property? So some other things that I do to try to find deals other than calling other investors and other wholesalers in the area or going to meetups is I like to look on Craigslist. If you go on Craigslist and you search by your city, real estate for sale, you can go in there and type in the search bar like wholesale, ARV, investor special, for sale by owner, whatever. You can go in there and search and you kind of see what properties in the area for sale or wholesale deals. A lot of times you'll see multiple listings from the same companies, the same investors, which is helpful. And if I find one on there that looks good, I like to give that person a call or an email if it's available, and I'll introduce who I am, what I do, and I'll let them know, hey, I think that we might have some buyers that are interested in your property. Would you be open to doing a joint venture deal? This is how it works. Sometimes we can be able to get a lead and get a deal done just through that. So that's kind of what I use as far as a dispositions manager. That's kind of my job. It's my day-to-day. Look for deals, do the underwriting process, do everything necessary in order to create a deal, to create a relationship with the seller, and then market the property. And if I get somebody interested, then I'll go into the process of getting the contract signed, making sure everything's clear and send over the title, get it into escrow, close on the property. So that's a little bit about my job, my day-to-day process as an operations manager and as a dispositions manager. So hope that helps.